We discussed in our previous video that the secret government project known as the Montauk Project was sending young boys forward and backwards in time to take pictures and collect data and information on behalf of the military-industrial complex. As the scientists and engineers working at Camp Hero in Montauk, New York, became more successful in their time travel experiments, the military wanted to expand their research to off-planet targets. The head scientists were told that their assets and finances would be redistributed, so the scientists can figure out how to create a portal to the Cydonia region of Mars, where the famous face on Mars was discovered by NASA scientists. Along with other mysterious structures that looked like pyramids in the same region, around this time, NASA scientists began communicating with news and media companies about their findings of the face on Mars. Since it was originally first imaged, the face had been accepted by NASA scientists and most mainstream scientists that the face on Mars had been an optical illusion and not a face or anything significant. NASA scientists explained that a natural rock formation that appears face-like due to an optical illusion caused by shadows and lighting at specific angles, essentially a trick of perspective. Scientists have confirmed this with high-resolution images taken from multiple angles, revealing it to be a mesa-like rock formation on the Martian surface. When the Montauk scientists discovered this, they immediately contacted their military handlers. They thought maybe they would not have to go through the long, grisly steps of creating a portal to the Cydonia region of Mars. They told the military that new evidence has come to light from NASA that it looks like the anomalies on the Cydonia region of Mars are just optical illusions, and resources should now be allocated to more important research. The military general on the phone interrupted him and in a condescending way told him, "Let's get a few things straight. You work for us, not NASA. You perform your work in the direction we dictate. Don't ever advise us on anything. We have more intel on what is going on or off this world, than you will ever know. We fund and control that secret facility. Let me let you in on a secret. We control NASA. Everything that NASA tells the public comes from us. If there is a threat from outer space or inner space, we would be the first to know, not scientists sitting behind a desk in a building. You all continue working on the directives we gave you." Then he hung up. The scientists now felt their military supervisors were working against them, using them for some other purpose, using this mysterious technology like the Montauk chair for their own mysterious, shady projects. Possibly weaponizing all of what they achieved thus far. Because everything was classified, nobody knew who actually ran the Montauk facility. The head scientist knew the military had the power over the facility, but what branch, which department, which government agency was also involved? Were there any politicians or lawmakers who knew about the facility? And if so, did they know what is transpiring there? The scientists and engineers were paid very well, and all signed NDAs, so they wouldn't share with anyone what transpired at the facility. But they knew what they were doing was highly illegal. Along with more and more young boys going missing in the projects, and most of the scientists not knowing where most of the boys even came from, they postulated that most of them came from other secret government projects, but were not sure. They continued to work on their new plans given to them by the military. The military generals told them their goal was to create a portal between Earth and Mars using the Montauk chair, specifically between Earth and the Martian pyramids that lay near the supposed face on Mars in the Cydonia region of Mars. This region of Mars shows evidence of a large number of artificial structures, including pyramids, temples, a waterfront, and even a city. The military's goal was to explore these regions to see what was there, or what built these structures. The Montauk scientists discovered through the Montauk chair is that we live in a holographic universe. According to physics, a subatomic particle is a particle smaller than an atom. But the Montauk scientists discovered that subatomic particles are illusory and that at a deeper level of reality, all things in the universe are infinitely interconnected. Therefore, time and space could no longer be viewed as fundamentals. Concepts such as location break down in a universe in which nothing is truly separate from anything else. Time and three-dimensional space would also have to be viewed as projections of this deeper order. This deeper order is our consciousness. Therefore, our reality is a sort of super hologram in which the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Therefore, time does not exist the way we think. All time exists at the same time, and this is how the Montauk scientist achieved time travel. But with time travel and understanding the holographic universe, teleportation to vast distances was also possible. This is what the military wanted the Montauk scientist to focus on next. Specifically, teleportation from Earth to Mars. The scientists tried many experiments. They first teleported a boy to Sri Lanka within the same time space. Then brought the boy back with success. Then they reached out further using animals, sending them first to the Moon, then to Mars. Then they sent a boy to Mars. The boy arrived with success and successfully communicated with the scientist from Mars, but then the boy disappeared with no contact. Then the military contacted them. They said, "We are sending our men inside the portal and are going to witness and monitor the entire activity." The Montauk scientists told them they are not ready yet and they need more research and development for a successful teleportation to Mars and back. But the military said that it is okay, we are on our way, and when handle everything. The scientists were confused on what actually was transpiring. Then a few hours later, the military showed up with their own scientist and 4 armed soldiers wearing what appeared to be spacesuits. The military took over the entire facility, using all the computers and technology as if they had used them before. The Montauk scientist then stood back and watched, discussing to themselves that something doesn't make any sense. It was almost as if the military and their scientists and engineers had done this many times before. Then one of their own scientists sat in the Montauk chair. Instantly, a portal was created. Then the armed soldiers were ordered by the military to get prepared to walk through the portal. Without hesitation, as if they have done this many times, they walked right through. They had devices to communicate with the military in the facility. They were officially on the Mars surface. They said the sky was blue and the air was crisp. There was no need for a breathing apparatus or headgear. They told them they see the pyramids, that appeared to be hundreds of thousands of years old, so old they could be seen as a natural land formation. But a closer look at it was definitely an intelligently created structure. They discovered more pyramids spread out all around them. They said it appeared like an ancient city of pyramids, with very tall obelisks, structures with hieroglyphics chiseled on them. They saw extremely large statues, very similar to ancient Egyptian statues in Cairo and Luxor. They took pictures and tried to collect weather patterns and audio recordings of the area. They also collected data and took pictures of mysterious alien structures, possibly built by an ancient race millions of years ago, now long gone. Then, one of the soldiers saw a large out-of-place mound in the distance, the famous face on Mars. The military clearly knew it was not an anomaly, but how did they know? They took more pictures and measurements of its size. It was a lot larger than they could have ever expected. It was mysteriously and clearly constructed to be seen from above, which led to more questions. Was it some sort of map or point of interest to above ships looking down? Why was it so large and clearly designed to be viewed from above? One of the military personnel saw a large opening on the side of one of the pyramids. They were ordered by the military to go inside. They walked in and saw a stairway going down. The stairs seemed to be endless, as it took several minutes to walk down. As they reached what appeared to be the bottom, a city underground, under the Cydonia section of Mars. Everything was black chiseled stone, with more pyramids and obelisk structures all appearing from the same black texture. Then the Montauk scientists were escorted away from the operating procedures and were told everything from here on is classified. Within a few hours, the military and their scientists wrapped things up, and the Montauk chair was empty with no portal reopening for the military who walked in. One of the head scientists asked, "Where is the rest of your personnel?" One of the military generals told them it was classified. Then they all left, returning the facility back to the Montauk scientist. The scientists decided to have a meeting that night. It was now clear they weren't told the whole story on what their purpose was while working at Montauk. They thought their research and development into these off-the-books black ops experiments would one day eventually be made public and their work would benefit the globe. But it looks like their work was only done for the secret military and would probably be weaponized to serve their interests. But what were those interests? Whatever they were, the Montauk scientists knew they could not continue work at the facility. They had to figure out how to shut their work and the facility down to stop any future plans of the secret military. In our next video, we will explain what the scientists did to put an end to the Montauk Project for good. Until then.